In this video, I'm going to walk you through getting the Donkey program set up. I am going to create a new project here, and it's going to be a Windows Form App.NET framework. Next, and I'm going to call this thing Donkey 1 because I already have a Donkey project from when I made this thing the first time. You call your thing Donkey and click Create, and in a second here we're going to have a Windows Form application. There's our Windows Form application. All right, so let's just kind of do the stuff that we normally do when we create a project. I'm going to select the form, and I'm going to come down here to the properties, and I'm going to change the text on the form to be Donkey. And you can see up here now it says Donkey. Let's add a menu strip. There's a menu strip. And let's add a file menu and a reset option and an exit option. So if you put an ampersand before a letter, then that becomes part of a keyboard shortcut. So on that, if I type Alt X, it'll activate the exit menu. And then let me add a help menu and an about option. ... Okay, there we go. And for the here's my file. Then let's double click on these things to have Visual Studio create the code for it. So to kill your program, it's application.exit. There we go, semicolon. And then let's go back to our designer. For the about menu, let's just do a message box.show, donkey clone by Evan Wright, can't type, 2024 or something like that, semicolon. All right. So now we've got our menu set up. If we run this, there's our help, about, file, reset doesn't do anything, but exit will kill the program. There we go, nice. Now let's go back to the designer, the design view, and let's add a picture box to our, actually, no wait, before we add the picture box, let's select our form. Oop, hang on, I accidentally added a picture box, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that picture box there then for now. On the form, what I'm going to do is select the form here, and then I'm going to go down to the properties area, and I'm going to select this lightning bolt, the lightning bolt right there, because that's the events that I can listen to. So let's listen for a key pressed event. So what I'm going to do is double click on the blank space next to key press, and now that form has a function that can listen for keyboard presses, and that's how we're going to control the player. So add a key press event to your form. Now for the picture box, we dragged a picture box over here. Let's set the size of our picture box, which means we have to go to the properties panel. Let's change it to be 640 by 480. No, 640 by 400. I think that's right. And then let's change the size of our form here to just kind of make it fit. All right, so I'm just following along with my own instructions here. So now that we've set the size of our picture box, we're going to add 2 timers. We're going to use 2 timers in this application. So let's go back to our form. Oh, you know what we need? I don't want to forget this. We need a paint event on our picture box. So let's go to our lightning bolt again and find the paint function and double click on that blank area, and now we have, no, we don't want it on the form, we want it on the picture box. I don't know what happened there. You want your paint event on the picture box. We don't care about painting the form. There we go. So this is picturebox1.paint. That's what we want. If I delete this right now, this paint one, it's going to break my project, and I know how to fix it, but it's not worth the time right now, so I'm just going to comment this out. You want your paint function to be on the picture box, not the form. All right, so let's go add our timers. Oops. So now there's a whole bunch of stuff we could just paste right into um, our project to get it going here. Oh, and I've forgotten to do the second step here, but I'm sort of just going out of order. Didn't really forget. Let's import the resources for this project. So I'm going to do Donkey 1 project. I'm going to go to the project menu, properties, resources, project properties, resources, and then you'll see add resource. Project properties, resource, add resource. Add existing file. And now I'm going to go to the resources for this project, which are up in Schoology, and you have to download them and unzip them. Interesting. And then let's grab, that shouldn't be there. Delete. Let's grab the background. Or actually, just grab all of it. You shouldn't see the click sound either. We're going to grab all of this. So what we have is the background, the car, the halves of the car, a donkey, halves of the donkey, and then 2 sound effects. So we're going to grab all of this stuff and click open. And there it is in our project. And now let's go set the background. Now that we have that those resources, we can go to our picture box and let's go to the properties, and you'll see that there's a background image property. And I can now pick our background, and I'll click OK. And there's the background for our game. And we can kind of maybe shrink this a little bit. Okay, now let's go back to our code, and we can start pasting in stuff from the PDF, just the variables and constants that will make your life easy. So let's go back to the code for Form 1 here, and I'm just going to go to the PDF. That's not the PDF. All right, here's the PDF. So here's some constants. These constants are used for positioning things on the screen and determining where people are. So the donkey left lane is where the donkey is when the donkey's in the left lane. Donkey right lane is where the donkey is when the donkey's in the right lane. Like, these are basically just X and Y coordinates that, like, I've sort of prefigured out. And we're going to put them in here as part of the class. So we're inside of the class. We're going to add these variables. Or actually, they're not variables, they're constants. The word const there means that they can't be changed. So there's a list of coordinates for us. Let's go add some more variables here, and we'll discuss what they are. So can I grab all of these? There we go. Let's paste this in as well. So our player and our donkey, or car and our donkey, they are modeled using points. A point is an object that has an X property and a Y property. So you could say player.x, player.y, donkey.x, donkey.y. You can set the X and Y coordinates of the player and the donkey. Then we have some variables for the score. We have a countdown timer for resetting the game. We have a variable that says whether the program is in the crashed state, like are we animating the collision. We have a random number generator, and we have some coordinates here that are used for positioning the fragments of the player and the donkey once a collision has occurred, because what we're going to do is hide the car and hide the donkey, but then we're going to start drawing the parts of the cars and the parts of the donkey in different locations. So these are going to track the 4 locations of the 4 fragments that we're going to have. And then we need, if we're going to draw stuff on the screen, we need a font. All right, so where do we initialize the font? We're going to do it here in the constructor. So the constructor is the function that has the same name as the class. See, the class is Form 1. There's our constructor, it's Form 1. We want to put our stuff after initialize component. All right, so let's go down here. Oh, sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. We still have sound and graphics. Let's copy in our images. There you go. So now, when you draw something, you can draw a car image. You don't have to draw properties.resources.car, right? You can just draw a car image. These are just kind of to make your life a little easier. And then for our sound effects, we're going to need our sounds here. Let's go add those. Now, does it recognize? Actually, that seems okay here. Oh, we have system.media up there. We're good. Okay, so that's all we need. So we have our constants, we have our variables, we have our images, and we have our sounds. All right, and then a couple more things here. Let's initialize our font. This is going to go into the constructor right after initialize component. Boom. All right. What else do we have to do? There's some functions that we're going to add. Just little stuff I made to make your life easier. Here's a function to draw the score. Let's take that and let's paste that in somewhere here. It doesn't matter, just as long as we don't want to paste it inside another function, but it doesn't matter where in this class we put it. And notice it's using that font that we created in our constructor. We don't want to create the font here because then we're creating the font every time we draw the score. We just want to create the font once up front. It's a lot more efficient. What else have we got? I made a function for you that determines if a collision has occurred. It returns true or false. It will tell you if the donkey and the player have intersected. So it creates a rectangle around each image and then returns whether or not they intersect. So you can use this function and its return value, which is true or false, to determine if the donkey has hit the car or the car has hit the donkey or whatever. Okay, and I think we're getting down. And now we're into the flow chart. So now you have everything you need. The rest should be fairly straightforward. This one looks maybe a little complicated, but I assure you it is not, especially if you understand what the program's trying to do. And again, anytime you see a diamond, that is just an if statement. And if you have a diamond with two paths out of it, that is an if-else statement. So you're testing something. If it's true, yes, we're going to do this. If it's not true, we're going to do that. So that is just an if-else statement. And remember, the compiler can write, Visual Studio can write this stuff for you. For example, if I want an if statement, if, tab, tab, else, tab, tab, there we go, right? Visual Studio can write a lot of this code for me. So that should be enough to get you up and running with this project. If you have any questions, if you run into any problems, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you decipher the flowcharts.